Hey there, beautiful soul. Did you know that right now, as we're talking, over 2 billion people worldwide are walking around with a hidden deficiency that's silently sabotaging their thyroid, crushing their metabolism, and making weight loss feel absolutely impossible? And here's the kicker, most doctors never even test for it. I'm talking about iodine deficiency, and if you've been struggling with unexplained fatigue, stubborn weight gain, brain fog, or feeling cold all the time, this could be the missing piece of your health puzzle that changes everything. Listen, I've been in the natural health space for decades, and I've watched countless women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond transform their lives once they discovered this one crucial element their bodies were desperately crying out for. So if you're tired of feeling tired, if you're ready to support your thyroid naturally and reclaim your energy and vitality, then you absolutely need to stick with me until the end of this video. And hey, if you're someone who believes in taking charge of your health naturally, using science-backed solutions that actually work, then make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. I share evidence-based, practical strategies for women who want to age gracefully, prevent disease, and feel amazing in their bodies, all through the power of natural healing and smart lifestyle choices. Now, let me tell you why this iodine conversation is so urgent right now. We're living in a time when our food supply has been stripped of this essential mineral, our soils are depleted, and we're constantly exposed to chemicals that actually block iodine absorption in our bodies. It's like trying to run a car without oil. Eventually, everything starts breaking down. Your thyroid is basically the master control center of your metabolism. Think of it as the thermostat in your house. When it's not working properly, everything feels off. The temperature's wrong, the energy's wrong, and no matter what you do, you just can't get comfortable. And iodine? It's the fuel that keeps this thermostat running smoothly. But here's what most people don't realize, iodine deficiency doesn't just happen in developing countries anymore. It's happening right here in America, right in our own communities. The World Health Organization has called it the single most preventable cause of brain damage and mental impairment worldwide. Let that sink in for a moment. I remember talking to Dr. Sarah Chen, an integrative endocrinologist I've known for years, and she told me something that absolutely floored me. She said that in her practice, she's seeing more and more women coming in with classic hypothyroid symptoms, the weight gain, the hair loss, the depression, the exhaustion, but their standard thyroid tests come back normal. When she digs deeper and actually tests their iodine levels, guess what? They're severely deficient. And this is where it gets really interesting. See, your body is incredibly smart. When it doesn't have enough iodine, it starts rationing what little it has. And where does it send that precious iodine first? To your thyroid, because that's absolutely critical for survival. But here's the thing, every cell in your body needs iodine, not just your thyroid. Your breasts need it, your ovaries need it, your brain needs it, your immune system needs it. So when you're deficient, it's like having a household budget where you can only pay the mortgage but nothing else. Sure, you're keeping a roof over your head, but everything else starts falling apart. The lights get cut off, the heat gets turned off, and pretty soon, you're living in a house that barely functions. Now, you might be wondering, how did this happen? How did we go from having adequate iodine levels to this widespread deficiency? Well, it's actually a perfect storm of modern life factors. First, let's talk about our salt. Back in the 1920s, they started adding iodine to table salt because iodine deficiency was causing serious health problems, especially in certain regions of the country. But here's what happened, as we became more health conscious, we started reducing our salt intake. And then, many of us switched to sea salt, Himalayan salt, or kosher salt, which don't contain added iodine. So right there, we lost our main dietary source. But it gets worse. Our soils have become depleted of iodine due to modern farming practices. The vegetables and grains that used to be good sources of iodine just aren't anymore. It's like trying to get water from a dry well. And then there's what I call the iodine blockers. chemicals in our environment that actually prevent our bodies from using the iodine we do get. Bromide is a big one. It's in flame retardants, pesticides, some medications, and even in commercial baked goods. Fluoride and chlorine, which are in our drinking water, also compete with iodine in our bodies. I had a client, Maria, who's 52, and she came to me absolutely frustrated. She was doing everything right, eating clean, exercising regularly, taking her vitamins, but she felt terrible. Her hair was thinning, she'd gained 30 pounds seemingly overnight, and she was so tired she could barely get through her workday. 3 different doctors told her she was just getting older and maybe she needed antidepressants. We decided to test her iodine levels, and sure enough, she was severely deficient. We worked together to safely and naturally increase her iodine intake, and within 3 months, it was like she was a different person. The weight started coming off, her hair began growing back thicker, and she had energy she hadn't felt in years. But here's the thing, and this is so important, you can't just go out and start taking massive amounts of iodine. This is where working with someone knowledgeable is crucial, because your body needs to be prepared to handle iodine supplementation properly. So let me walk you through the smart, safe way to support your iodine levels naturally. The first step is understanding what the signs of deficiency look like. Are you always cold, even when everyone else is comfortable? Do you have dry, flaky skin that no amount of moisturizer seems to help? Are you gaining weight despite eating well and exercising? Is your hair thinning or falling out? Are you struggling with brain fog or memory issues? Do you feel tired no matter how much sleep you get? These could all be signs that your thyroid is struggling due to inadequate iodine. But here's where it gets tricky, these symptoms can also be caused by other things, which is why testing is so important. Now, the standard test that most doctors run is a blood test for iodine, but here's the problem with that, iodine doesn't hang around in your blood for very long. It's like trying to measure how much water you drink by testing a single drop of blood. It just doesn't give you the full picture. The best test is actually a 24-hour urine loading test. You take a specific amount of iodine, then collect your urine for 24 hours to see how much your body excretes. If your body is sufficient in iodine, it'll excrete most of what you took. But if you're deficient, your body will hold on to it like a sponge soaking up water. There's also a simple spot urine test that can give you a general idea of your iodine status, though it's not quite as accurate as the 24-hour test. The key is working with a healthcare provider who understands functional testing and knows how to interpret these results properly. But what if you can't get tested right away, or you want to start supporting your iodine levels naturally through food? There are definitely some wonderful options, though I have to be honest with you, it's pretty challenging to get adequate iodine from food alone in today's world. Sea vegetables are hands down the best natural sources. Kelp, nori, dulse, and wakame are iodine powerhouses. I love adding a small piece of kombu to my beans when I'm cooking them. It not only adds iodine but also helps make the beans more digestible. You can also find sea vegetable flakes to sprinkle on salads or soups. Fish and seafood can be good sources too, especially cod, shrimp, and tuna. But here's the catch, the iodine content varies widely depending on where the fish comes from and what they've been eating. It's not as reliable as it used to be. Dairy products and eggs can contain iodine, but again, it depends on what the cows and chickens were fed. If they weren't getting adequate iodine, neither are you. And here's something interesting that most people don't know, cranberries are actually one of the few land-based foods that naturally contain significant amounts of iodine. Adding some unsweetened cranberries to your diet can be a tasty way to boost your intake. But honestly, for most people dealing with deficiency, food alone isn't going to be enough to restore optimal levels. This is where smart supplementation comes in, and this is where you really need to be careful and ideally work with someone experienced. The key is starting slowly and supporting your body's detox pathways at the same time. When you start replenishing iodine, your body may release stored toxins, particularly those iodine-blocking chemicals I mentioned earlier. This can sometimes cause temporary symptoms like headaches, fatigue, or skin breakouts. It's actually a good sign that your body is cleaning house, but you want to support it through this process. Selenium is absolutely crucial when you're increasing iodine. These two minerals work together like dance partners, they need each other to function properly. Without adequate selenium, iodine supplementation can actually cause problems. Brazil nuts are a fantastic source of selenium, just 2 or 3 a day can provide what you need. Magnesium is another important cofactor. It helps your thyroid actually use the iodine effectively. And since most of us are deficient in magnesium anyway, it's a win-win. I'm a big fan of magnesium glycinate, it's gentle on the stomach and well absorbed. Vitamin C helps protect your thyroid gland and supports your body's ability to absorb and utilize iodine. Plus, it supports your immune system and acts as an antioxidant to help with any detox reactions you might experience. The B vitamins, especially B2 and B3, are also important for thyroid function. A good quality B complex can be really helpful, especially if you're dealing with stress, which depletes B vitamins rapidly. Now, let's talk about what to avoid while you're working on restoring your iodine levels. Those iodine blockers I mentioned earlier, bromide, fluoride, and chlorine, you want to minimize your exposure as much as possible. This means filtering your drinking water, choosing organic foods when possible to avoid pesticides, being careful about flame retardant chemicals in furniture and clothing, and yes, even being mindful of how much time you spend in chlorinated pools and hot tubs. Certain foods can also interfere with iodine absorption and thyroid function. The cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, contain compounds called goitrogens that can block iodine uptake. Now, don't panic and stop eating these healthy vegetables. Cooking them reduces their goitrogenic effects, and they're too nutritious to eliminate completely. Just be aware that if you're dealing with iodine deficiency, eating massive amounts of raw kale smoothies might not be the best idea. Soy is another one to be cautious about, especially processed soy products. Soy contains isoflavones that can interfere with thyroid hormone production and absorption. A little bit of traditionally fermented soy like miso or tempeh is probably fine for most people, but I'd avoid soy milk, soy protein powders, and heavily processed soy foods. And here's something that might surprise you, peanuts and pine nuts also contain goitrogenic compounds. Again, you don't need to eliminate them completely, but if you're struggling with thyroid issues, it's worth being mindful of how much you're consuming. Now, I want to address something really important here. If you're already taking thyroid medication, please don't stop or make changes without working with your doctor. Iodine supplementation can affect how your medication works, and you may need to have your levels monitored and your dose adjusted as your thyroid function improves. I've seen women work with knowledgeable practitioners to gradually reduce their thyroid medication as their natural thyroid function improved with proper iodine support, but this absolutely needs to be done under medical supervision with regular testing. The beautiful thing about supporting your body with adequate iodine is that the benefits go far beyond just thyroid health. Remember, every cell in your body needs iodine. Many women notice improvements in breast health, clearer thinking, better mood stability, and even stronger immune function. Lisa, another client of mine who's 48, had been struggling with fibrocystic breast changes for years. Her doctor kept telling her it was just hormonal and there wasn't much she could do about it. When we addressed her iodine deficiency as part of a comprehensive approach to her health, not only did her thyroid function improve, but the breast tenderness and lumps that had been bothering her for years significantly improved too. And here's something else that's really exciting. Adequate iodine levels may actually help protect against certain types of cancer, particularly breast and thyroid cancers. The research is still evolving, but it makes sense when you understand how important iodine is for healthy cell function and DNA repair. Your immune system also depends on adequate iodine. It has natural antimicrobial properties, which is why it's used as a disinfectant. When your cells have adequate iodine, they're better able to defend against bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens. But perhaps most importantly for many of the women I work with, getting your iodine levels optimized can be the key to finally losing that stubborn weight that just won't budge. When your thyroid is functioning properly, your metabolism runs efficiently, you have energy for exercise, and your body can properly regulate hunger and satiety hormones. I can't tell you how many women have told me that addressing their iodine deficiency was the missing piece that finally allowed them to release weight they've been carrying for years, despite doing everything else right. The key is patience and consistency. This isn't a quick fix. Your body needs time to restore optimal iodine levels and repair any damage that may have occurred from long-term deficiency. Most people start noticing improvements in energy and mood within a few weeks, but it can take several months to see the full benefits. And remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle. Optimal health comes from addressing multiple factors: nutrition, sleep, stress management, movement, and yes, ensuring adequate levels of essential nutrients like iodine. I hope this has opened your eyes to just how important this often overlooked mineral is for your health and well-being. If you suspect you might be dealing with iodine deficiency, I encourage you to find a knowledgeable practitioner who can help you test your levels and create a safe, effective plan for restoration. Your thyroid health is too important to ignore, and you deserve to feel vibrant, energetic, and healthy at every stage of life. Don't let a simple nutrient deficiency rob you of the vitality and wellness that's your birthright. If you found this information helpful and you're ready to take charge of your health naturally, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I'm constantly sharing research-based, practical strategies that can transform your health from the inside out. And speaking of crucial nutrients that are often overlooked, wait until you see what I'm sharing in my next video. I'm going to reveal the silent vitamin deficiency that's literally killing seniors, and it's probably not what you think. This deficiency is linked to falls, fractures, immune system failure, and cognitive decline, but the medical system rarely tests for it properly. If you're over 50, or you love someone who is, you absolutely cannot afford to miss this life-saving information. I'll see you there.